So far, we have learned about the research paper. We have understood what are the different types of research papers, what is the importance of its content, how to write a research paper as well. Next part, followed by that, is we'll be understanding online referencing tools, which are basically useful to gather information. We have been repeatedly using the word referencing, citation. So what is exactly referencing, and what are the most easiest ways of referencing or to gather information in related to your dissertation or project work? So the title of this lecture is Online Referencing Tool. In this, we'll be understanding what are the immediate ways of obtaining information in relation to your dissertation. Myself, Dr. Milind Gajbee from Department of Microbiology, and I'll be explaining you referencing protocols, and this is under certificate course in research methodology, particularly designed for the students of MSc. Now let us first understand what is the meaning of referencing. What is this word means? The word reference, it means the use of a source of information in order to ascertain something. That means whenever you are writing a sentence, you are not writing that sentence blindly, or it may not be your own sentence. So, in order to support the ideas which are described in that particular sentence, so in support of that, you need to give or you need to cite some support, and that supporting information will authenticate the particular sentence. So in order to increase the authenticity of the information which you are writing, we need to provide some quotations or we need to provide some kind of citations. So that is called as reference. There is importance of reference in different ways. It helps you to search for the research topic, as we have discussed earlier in the topic of understanding a research paper. A small part of that we have already learned, and I have already explained you how exactly these references are useful to gather information related to your project. References help you to know the scope of the subject, particularly reviews. So we have learned what are reviews, what is the importance of review. It is a big source of information in relation to a particular topic. So you can understand in how much depth the research has been carried out in relation to that particular subject matter. References provides in detail information about the topic. So it helps us in acquiring in-depth knowledge, and this will help you to design your hypothesis. This will help you to design your aims and objectives of the dissertation. Therefore, referencing is very important. But what kind of referencing has to be done? So for the better understanding of the subject area, we need to refer to several journals, magazines, research papers, reviews, short communications, etc. etc. So for the better understanding of the subject area, the scope means the current status of that particular subject area or the topic, that is called as scope. So in order to know the scope, referencing is very important, because based on that, you'll be able to know that what work has been done and what work has a scope, so that you can focus on that particular area of research, and that will help you to design your objectives. Now, what are the different referencing resources from which you can gather information? These referencing resources are research journals, books, newspapers, magazines, websites, or any other relevant source of information. So exactly what to refer in relation to your dissertation or project work, let me tell you that you need to refer to research papers, reviews, short communications, and research notes. All these materials you will get online as well as offline in journals. These journals are of different subject areas, like biological sciences subject area will have a different journal, statistics will have a different journal, mathematical sciences will have a different journal, computer sciences will have a different journal. But on the other hand, there are certain journals which are called as interdisciplinary journals, in which the most of the subject areas are covered. Say for example, biological sciences along with mathematical sciences along with electronic sciences. So you will find the research articles in a single journal. These journals are called as interdisciplinary journals, whereas there are specialized journals which covers only a particular subject area. That means it will be selective for plant physiology. Some journals will be selective for bacterial taxonomy. Some journals will be selective for only computer programming, particular computer programming, like languages like Python or C++, etc., etc. So you need to go through the title of the journal, so that will help you to know whether that particular resource is suitable for your subject area or not. Book chapters are again going to serve a good information source for, because there are two types of books. Textbooks are written in relation to the syllabus of a particular program of BSc or MSc, like that, and there is other category of books, that is reference books. So you need to refer to these reference books, because reference books may have the book chapters, and these book chapters are written by researchers or who has knowledge of that particular subject area in depth. So book chapters are, you can compare that with reviews. So reviews and book chapters, they have similarity. So you can make use of book chapters as well. The most important thing is that whatever the referencing material that you will be utilizing, so you are writing a particular sentence, and in support of that sentence, you have taken that particular sentence from someone else's research work. So if you are taking that material and using it or writing your own sentence, then you need to quote the name of that particular author, because you are utilizing that particular information of other researcher. So it is called as citation. So citation is very important. If you are not doing citation, then it will be an offense. It is illegal, and that becomes the part of plagiarism. Plagiarism is stealing of data from someone else's research without quoting their name or their reference. If you are quoting their name or reference, it is fine. If it is not, then it becomes an offense, and a legal action may be taken against you if you are using someone else's information in your write-up. So this part is really very important. You need to remember this while writing your project report. So these references should be quoted in your write-up as a text reference and end reference. Sorry, there is a mistake here. Here there is a mistake. You can see this one. It has to be the one which I am highlighting. This has to be end reference. So you need to remember all these things, and this will be very useful for you to write your final project report. Then the next question to be addressed is availability of referencing resources. So exactly from where you will get these references. That is the part of today's lecture. So you can get journals, magazines, newspapers, all these referencing resources, books in your library in the form of hard copy. So offline resources are available in the library. You need to go in the library and see the indices, abstracts in the library, and search for the journals. You can read these journals in library itself. You can get it Xerox. So all these things are going to be tedious, going to library, searching for journals, and in those journals searching for the topic of your interest. This is going to be a tedious task, or this is going to be difficult. So it was the method when online resources were not available. We had faced lots of difficulties in order to search for resourceful information as it was offline. Nowadays it is very easy because of internet, because we have online resources available. These online resources, that means you can make use of different search engines, you can make use of different softwares, and you can get all these resources either in free form or in paid form. Paid form means if you are interested in a particular article, then if you open that web page, then if you want to use that, if you want to read that article, the website will ask you for payment. So without the payment, that information is not disclosed. It is not that all the research papers or research information is available in paid form. It is also available in free form also. So you can get research papers online. As you all know, you must have downloaded several books, textbooks or reference books. These are also nowadays available online in PDF format. Newspapers, of course, e-newspapers, they are available. Likewise, e-research papers and e-books are available. E-magazines are available. And of course, if you are interested in particular subject area, and if you know that a particular website is there, of course you can refer to that particular website, provided that the information given in the website is authentic. Then the next question arises: how to search for a suitable journals. It is not that you are referring to a single journal. There are many journals which may be available on a particular subject area. So you need to refer to several journals, several publications which are published in several journals having different impacts. So how to search for a suitable journal for referencing? So authenticity of that particular research is very important, and the authenticity, to measure that authenticity, there are certain quality measures. What are these quality measures? Now you see, this information is also very useful for you in order to publish your data. So after the completion of your dissertation work, if you are interested in publication of your data, then also this information will be very useful. The first question that will stand in front of you will be, in which journal I should publish my data? So there are certain quality measures that will help you to understand this part. So the first part is the subject area. You need to search for a journal, then according to the names, and name will itself tell you, or it will give you idea about the kind of papers which are available or which are published in that particular journal. So for example, the name of the journal is Journal of International Journal of Microbiology. So as the name indicates, this journal is related to, or it publishes data in relation to research done in microbiology. Then Research Journal of Biotechnology. So biotechnology, it will cover all the subject areas like different biological sciences and life sciences. Journal of Mathematical Sciences, as the name indicates, it is related to mathematics and statistics. So likewise, the name of the journal itself, it will give you idea about the scope. Second quality measure is there are certain databases in which these journals are enlisted. That means if these journals are enlisted in those particular databases, it indicates that the journals are authentic and they are approved. So there are certain agencies that gives approval to these journals, and that increases the authenticity of that particular journal. So one of such agency is University Grant Commission. So this University Grant Commission, this agency, it has published a list of journals, and that is called as UGC Care List of Journals. So it is monitored and maintained by Savitribai Phule Pune University. So this you need to remember, UGC Care List of Journals. So if journal is listed in this UGC Care, it means that the journal is authentic. So while publishing your data, you need to search for journal which is listed in UGC Care. Other such databases and agencies are Scopus. So Scopus listed journals are more authentic. That is another parameter or another quality measure. So Scopus, it is a database which is prepared by Elsewhere. Elsewhere is a publication agency which publishes different journals and books. So Elsewhere's abstract and citation database, it is called as Scopus. And Scopus includes the journals in their list considering different parameters. These quality parameters are H index of that journal, site score of that journal, scientific journal rating, and scientific impact factor. So all these parameters are considered for a particular journal to be included in the list of Scopus. So Scopus is, it gives the authenticity that the journal is of good quality. Then other type of database is Web of Science. So Web of Science, it will also gives authentication. So Web of Science, it also publishes a list of journals. So if that journal is listed in Web of Science, then that journal is of good quality. Then you need to see on the web page of that particular journal whether that journal is peer reviewed or not. This is very important. Peer means keenly done. Reviewed means keenly screened or keenly examined. So if the papers are keenly examined and they are reviewed by certain subject experts, that means when you submit your paper to a particular journal, what that journal's editor will do, it will assign that he will send that paper to a reviewer or a referee, and that referee will go through that paper and he will pass on the comments, and if you are able to fulfill those comments, then your paper will be accepted in journal for the publication. So that process is called as peer review process. So journal has to be peer reviewed. You need to remember this. What is the meaning of peer review? Then the most important quality measure is impact factor. Now it depends. Impact factor, it is a numerical value. So that numerical value is assigned to a particular journal. So that numerical value which is assigned to a particular journal, it decides the quality of that journal. So of course, if the numerical value is higher, if the impact factor is higher, that it indicates that the quality of that journal is very high. Now the question is, there are several agencies which calculate the impact factor, but the impact factor which is calculated by Scopus Elsewhere's database are considered as most authentic. Other types of impact factors are of no use in general. So these are the different quality measures that you need to remember. All this information is very important for your final examination as well. Other thing you need to remember in relation to check the quality of the journal is who is the publisher. So there are reputed publishers. If you see these symbols on that particular journal or article, it indicates, it gives authenticity that the paper or the books are of authentic or good quality. These are elsewhere. You see that symbol of tree, it is a reputed one, the most reputed one. Now followed by that, there are certain other publishers like Taylor and Francis Group. It publishes several books and journals considered as authentic. Hindavi publications are also authentic, and also Springer. You can see a symbol of horse. Springer publishers are also considered most authentic. Let me give you an example of the web page of a journal. This is a journal named as Bioresource Technology. So this is a interdisciplinary journal. So subject areas. You can see whenever you go to the website of that particular journal, then you will find relevant information about that particular journal on their front page. So you can see that this Bioresource Technology, which is published by Elsewhere, and if you go to that front page, you will see that it gives a description of that particular journal. That means what type of data is published in this kind of journal. You can see here the description is given that Bioresource Technology publishes original articles, reviews, etc., etc. And at the bottom you can see that it gives the scope of that journal. That means the data which is suitable for the publication in this journal, it is related to the areas of biomass, biological waste treatment, bioenergy, biotransformation, bioresource systems, analysis, and technologies. So that gives the subject area. So depending on that, you can decide whether your data is suitable for the publication or not. From your dissertation point of view, as a part of referencing, you can see, considering this subject area, you can check whether this journal is suitable for your referencing work or not. Then you can see here that this journal's web page, it also describes the quality measures of this journal under the title of abstracting and indexing. You can see that this journal is abstracted, or it is indexed, or it is enlisted, or it is recognized by several agencies. You can see here in between you will find different names of different agencies like PubMed, then Scopus, then Biases. You can see in between all these, elsewhere Biobase. So this gives the authenticity to that particular journal. Then at the bottom you can see the editorial board. So whether the journal is international or national, you can decide the quality of that journal depending on the editorial board, the members of editorial board. You can see here Dr. Ashok Pandey from India. He is the editor-in-chief. Although it is from India, but this journal is a very reputed international journal. You can see the other editors. These other editors are from different reputed institutions from different parts of the world, like France, Australia, USA, Spain, Sweden. So different from different continent, the researchers are the part of the editorial board. Next part is, as we are talking about the quality measures of the journal. So you can see here that at the right hand corner in the top, there is a symbol of a circle, and it is written Clarivate Analytics. So this is a database, or this is this is the agency that analyzes the journal impact factor. You can see, you can get this information downloaded from the website of Clarivate Analytics. So you can type this keyword in Google and you will get the recent data. So this data is quite old, from 2018. You can see here that category scheme, selected category scheme is WOS, that is Web of Science. So as we already learned what is the importance of Web of Science, that is the agency. So the journals are listed in this. It is a reputed one. You can see the ranking of the journal is given in this. So the first column, it gives the ranking, the title, full title of that journal, total citations of, that means the number of times the papers are cited, then journal impact factor. You can see the journal impact factor is very, very, very high for the first rank journal, that is 220. This is too much high. And Nature, you can see the impact factors of Nature's at number 10, number 5 to 11. So this gives us the idea about the impact factor of the journal and the quality of journal. This is a simple formula for your knowledge. I must tell you how exactly the impact factor of that particular journal is calculated. So this is what I have taken from website. So say for example, this is just an example. So impact factor is calculated on the basis of citations. Citations means if someone cites your reference, your published paper, this means that he has utilized your paper. He has utilized your paper as a resource. It is creditable that someone is using your information for describing his or her own information, and he is citing your reference. That is creditable. So the number of such citations. So in all, for that particular journal, the number of citations of the articles published in that particular journal during a definite period of time, and the total number of articles published in that journal in the same tenure. These two things are going to help you to calculate the impact factor. Now this is just an example. If you see this example carefully, that the number of citations in 2008 we want to calculate. Okay, the number of the impact factor of this journal in 2008 we want to calculate. So the factors you need to consider for calculation are number of citations in 2008 to the items. Items means the research articles. It may be review, it may be short communication, it may be original research article, it may be research note. So number of citations in 2008 to the research articles published in, now you have to take 2 years back data. So if you are calculating impact factor for 2008, you need to take the data, 2-year-old data, that is 2007 and 2006. So number of citations of articles in 2007, say for example here, it is 263, and in 2006, the number of citations of these articles published in this journal are 374, and in all it is 637. What is this value? 637. This is the number of citations. That means 637 times the articles are referenced or utilized by other users. They are cited by other users in different journals. They have utilized your data with citation, which is creditable. So how many times? 637 times they have quoted your reference, your research papers published in that particular journal. And the next factor that is to be considered for calculation is the number of articles published in all. How many number of articles are published in 2007 in that particular journal are 55, and 2006 are 49. So there are in all 104 articles published from 2006 to 2007, and these 104 articles, how many citations are there? How many times they are utilized? They are utilized 637 times. So there is a simple formula that number of citations to the recent items. How many citations are there? They are 637. It is divided by the total number of articles published. So the total number is 104. So if you calculate this, it will come to 6.125. This is your authentic impact factor. So this is how the impact factor is calculated. So if the denominator is, if denominator increases, the impact factor then decreases. This is how we calculate the impact factor. You need to remember this. Then this is the list of, particularly I wanted to tell you about the Indian journals. Indian journals are not behind. There are several Indian journals which are listed in Scopus. You can get all these information or this list of journals in PDF format from Google or the Web of Science website or Scopus. This is the list of journals which have been published from India. You can get more information on this. As I was telling you, you will get this information from UGC Care list of journals, which is maintained by Savitribai Phule Pune University. So you can download the list of journals from there. Now, exactly how to do online referencing, that is the part to be addressed. Here, online referencing we can do with the help of several databases, with the help of several search engines. Google is a most better search engine. It is a quite refined and detailed search engine. One of the apps in Google is search engine is, or it is refined to Google Scholar. Then the others are different databases that we can make use of. They are PubMed, Emerald, Academia, ResearchGate, Babylon's, Medline. Google Scholar is free to use. PubMed is free to use. Emerald is free to use. Academia is paid, so generally it is not used by general research. So specialized researchers make use of Academia because you have to pay for that. ResearchGate is free. Babylon's is sometimes it is free, sometimes it is paid. Medline is free. You need to remember these keywords, put it in Google, and you will get the information or the database in front of you where you can put the keyword and you can collect the research articles. Let us first see exactly how this Google Scholar is help you. If you go to Google, you will find that in apps, press on the apps on Google search engine. There is a window at the right hand corner, top right hand corner, and that window, if you press on that window, you will get this picture. So these are the apps, different apps. Google is a very smart database search engine. It is very user friendly. It has divided itself into several categories, as you can see in front of you. Google Street View for the travelers, Google Hangouts for the for chatting, Google Maps, Messages, Pixel, News. So all these are the specialized searches which has been prepared by Google. One of search in this list you will find here is you can see the Scholar hat there, cap. So this is Google Scholar. This is what you need to search, and you need to press on this. And what you can do is sign in to Google Scholar. Press on this, sign into Google Scholar, and you can add a browser plugin to your address bar as shown here. So if you log in and add it as a plugin, it will appear on your address bar. So frequently you need not to press on Google Scholar again and again. If you get this icon at the top in the address bar, directly you can, if you pin it, then directly you press it and the information will be available in a second. So you need not to waste your time on this again and again. Let us take an example of Google Scholar, how to use it. Suppose for this you need to sign in at the right hand corner. Sign in. So for the better results you need to sign in, because if you create your profile on here, so the research papers that you are referring to, you can make a library of that. You can see in the left hand corner top, my library. So if you click on those research papers, you can make a library, online library of your own on this Google Scholar. That is how this Google Scholar is very user friendly. Let me take an example. If I type here, synthesis of silver nanoparticle. This is the subject area. I'm interested in gathering information. Suppose I'm interested, my guide has given me this topic that you work on synthesis of silver nanoparticles and its uses. So this is my keyword. I'll take this keyword and I will start gathering information in relation to synthesis of nanoparticles. I will start searching for research papers on synthesis of nanoparticles, and that will help me to write my project proposal. Of course, this information is also useful for searching of the references. So I will write this here: synthesis of silver nanoparticles. And then I will press on search. So this is what appeared. So these are the several publications in relation to synthesis of silver nanoparticles. These are the publications of papers in journals. On left hand side under articles, you can see there are sub parts anytime since 2021. So you can refine your search. If you are interested only in recent time publications, you can click on recent, that is since 2021. If you are interested in old publications, you can customize the range of or the duration of that publication. You can see here it is written custom range at the right hand corner. So this is how you will get a list of references. Now say for example, I'm interested from this list, I'm interested in this, that is rapid biological synthesis of silver nanoparticles using plant leaf extract. So if I'm interested in this, I want to extract this paper and keep it for my, I want to read this paper. So I press on this. Let me press on this. So if I press on this, it will take me to the journal's website, and it will take me to the directly to original research paper. So that is how the paper has appeared. You can read the abstract of this paper and you will get idea exactly what work has been carried out by this particular researcher. However, unfortunately, you can see here that it is asking for money, 34.95 euros. It is asking as a money as a fees, and is asking to buy this article. So if it is not possible, then what you can do is, here I told you about the importance of corresponding author in my earlier lecture. You can see here this Vyongsoo Kim, it is he is a corresponding author. You can send the request to this corresponding author. You will find his email in this paper at on this web page at the bottom. If you press here, and you can email him, and you can request him to sign that research paper. If he or she considers your respect, he will definitely send you the research paper. Then what is the other option? Suppose this is the another paper, synthesis of silver nanoparticles with different shapes. So let me press on this. If I press on this, it will take me to the journal's website. So this is a Elsevier publication. You can see here the paper has arrived. Now we need to know whether this paper is also available or it is asking for money. You can see at the bottom it is written open access. Open access means this is free to download. It is a good news for us that this paper has open access. That means it is open to read for all the researchers. Another option you can see at the top, view PDF. So if you press on this view PDF, let me press. So directly it will take me to the PDF version of that that research paper. So very easily you can access this paper. You can download this paper by pressing here, and you can keep this in your library. You can use it offline also. So you can see this is Arabian Journal of Chemistry. It is a review. I told you that whenever your subject is decided, topic for dissertation is decided, you go for searching a review. This is going to solve you your lots of problem, because this review is going to give you huge information about your subject area, and that will help you to find out more and more information. Review will give you 50 to 100 references, end references, as you can see here. And these references, you can collect individual papers. Now see, for example, here, these references, now this is the reference in which you are interested: synthesis and characterization of silver nanoparticles, effect on phytopathogen, Colatotrichum gliosporioids. It is published in Nanopart Research Journal. And if you are interested in this particular research article, it is available online. How do you know that it is available online? You can see at the end there is a DOI number is given. DOI is Document Object Identifier. So if you press on that, directly it is a web link. Directly it will take you to that reference page. So here that paper is synthesis and characterization of silver nanoparticles, effect on phytopathogen. Unfortunately, again, it is a paid article. You can send your request to the concerned corresponding author. This is how it is done. This is called as cross-referencing. Why it is called as cross-referencing? Because your first reference is a review, and using that review, you have got information about this reference. From this reference, you may get information about next reference. This is called as, this forms a chain. This is a linkage. This is called as cross-referencing. You need to remember this. Cross-referencing is very useful in order to collect in-depth